All right, so the next thing we're going to do is put a roof on the top of this guy. So to do that, we're going to host a roof on roof A. So we have a roof level, and you can see it over here in 3D. I have my levels turned on so you can see them. So basically we're going to put a roof on there. And then we're going to attach some things to the roof, just like the floors attach the walls, and play around with the slopes. So let's get to it. I'm going to open up my roof plan A, and I'll do my WTZA so you can sort of see what's happening in 3D while I'm doing it. Over here in 2D. You can work in 3D. It's just Revit prefers. I find it much easier to work in 2D initially for the outlines. So if you go to the Architecture tab, under the Roof command, if you go to the pull down, there's various different types of roofs. And we're going to use a roof by footprint. I'm going to click on Roof by Footprint, and it's going to send me into the sketch mode. So basically what it wants is an outline. It wants to extrude a roof, right? It also wants us to tell it what kind of roof. Right now we've got a glazing, a 4-inch glazed roof on here. So I'm just going to go to the Type Selector pull down, and I'm going to pick the generic 12-inch white. Okay, just click on that. And then I'm going to go to the rectangle. And in my roof A, because that means it will host to roof A, you can see it's set up to go to roof A right there. I am just going to left click, maybe a little inside here on that side, and then go all the way out to the edge of the balcony here. Right? And so it will put an outline of where it's going to extrude the roof. You can see it in 3D. It wants to lock to the edges of the floor, but I don't really want to constrain this thing right now, so I'm going to leave those unlocked. It has no slope on it right now, so right now you can see that there's no defined slope check, so it's going to be a flat roof. So if you hit the big green check, go ahead and do that. It puts a flat roof right on the top of that guy, and it extrudes up from the level. So you can see the top of the walls are at level roof, and then the roof goes up from there. So what I want is a little bit of slope on this, not too much, so let's go ahead and do that. So in almost all the Revit elements like walls, floors, and roofs, you can pick them and you will get an edit footprint. So for example, if I pick the wall, I get an edit profile, and then if I pick the floor, I get an edit boundary, right? So for the roof, it is edit footprint. They just make a different version of it. So click on the edit footprint, and the easiest way to slope is to give a slope amount to one of the lines, the boundary lines. So I'm just going to pick this boundary line, and I'm going to check the defined roof slope. And then it gives me an option, offset from roof, or I want to do the slope. And I'm just going to set that to 1 and 12. Okay. And then I'm going to hit the big green check. And you're going to see it's going to slope that roof from 1 and 12. If you wanted a more gentle slope, you could edit the footprint. You could go to here and you could just say 1/2 inch equals to a foot. And now it's a lower slope. You could also make a gable. So if I go to edit footprint again and pick the other line and define slope on that, I can put this at 1 inch equals a foot and hit check, and now you've got a slope, and then it will just break the roof where it meets and make kind of this asymmetrical gable, right? So I'm just going to edit that footprint again and remove the slope from this end by removing the defined slope check. Okay, and then hit check, right? Now we need to move the roof down because it's kind of above the walls. And for most of the, many of the system families, you're going to get a base offset from level, which is right here, right? So I'm going to come in and I'll set this to -5 feet to see what happens, right? That's pretty good. I think that's low enough. Yours may be different. If you have a different slope, you may need to do more or less. So now that we've got the roof at about a level that we want it, let's go ahead and attach maybe these guys to the roof, because right now we zoom around, let's take a look at this end. They're going through the roof, and we also have like a little tiny wall down here right? That's very short, that we actually want to go all the way up to the roof. So we have one thing that's too short and two things that are too tall. So I'm going to pick this guy and I'm going to attach top base, and I'm going to pick the roof, and it's going to delete that curtain wall and remake it. And then I'm going to pick this guy and attach top base, right? And it's going to delete that curtain wall and remake it. And you can see now that those are going up. Now this little tiny wall, right now the top constraint is unconnected. We could maybe constrain it to roof A, right? So it does go up through the roof at this point. But then we just pick that and attach top base, right? And that guy goes to there. Now the other one that we want to go all the way up is this one actually goes all the way up to the roof, because this is sort of an interior balcony. So I'm just going to pick this and attach top base. It'll shoot that up and remake it, and now we've kind of got this big curtain wall on the end and the roof. All right, so when we come back, we'll sort of go in and start playing around, I think, with curtain walls and clean some things up.